Mr. Speaker, I rise to move a motion, flagrant abuse of due process and infringement of local content, disobedience to Petroleum Industry Act, and non-compliance with tax laws by oil and gas companies operating in Imo State. The House notes that the Nigerian Oil and Gas Industry Content Development Act 2010 was enacted to promote the utilization of Nigerian human and material resources and the participation of Nigerian companies in the oil and gas industry. Also notes that the Petroleum Industry Act 2021 provides a robust legal and regulatory framework for the Nigerian petroleum industry, including specific provisions for host community development, environmental management, and equitable benefit sharing. Also aware that the Taxes and Levies Approved List for Collection Act authorizes state governments to collect certain taxes and levies from businesses operating within their territories, which is crucial for funding state infrastructure and social services. Further notes that several international and indigenous oil companies, IOCs, operating oil and gas fields within the oil-producing communities of Imo State, notably in Ohaji Ebema, Oguta, and other LGAs, as their hosts, as listed here in the body of the motion. Also aware of persistent outcry and allegations from host communities and state government regarding, one, failure to establish functional operational offices within their areas of operation in Imo State, as mandated by Section 3J of the Act 2010, thereby denying the state by valuable economic activity and employment. Systemic failure of these companies to prioritize the employment of qualified indigenous of Imo State in direct violation of Section 11, 28, and 35 of the Act 2010. Refusal to award contracts to competent Nigerian companies, especially those from the host communities, for goods and services. Obstruction of lawful efforts by Imo State government and Imo State Internal Revenue Service to assess their premises for assessment and collection of legally approved state taxes and levies. And finally, non-compliance with the host communities development trust provisions under Chapter 3 of the PIA 2021, leading to a lack of tangible benefits and development in these communities. Concerned that these acts of non-compliance have led to immense frustration, widespread agitations, and a palpable threat of social unrest within the host communities. Also concerned that the continued neglect and infringement of these laws, if not urgently addressed, may lead to violent protests that could threaten national security, destruction of critical oil and gas infrastructure, disrupting production and harming the national economy, and a breakdown of law and order in the oil-producing regions of Imo State. The House is hereby invited to resolve, one, to urge the oil and gas companies operating in Imo State to urgently comply with, one, provisions of Nigerian Oil and Gas Industry Content Act 2010 regarding indigenous employment, contract awards, and establishment of operational offices. Two, the host communities development trust requirements under the Petroleum Industry Act, PIA 2021. Three, grant unfettered access to officials of Imo State Internal Revenue Service for the performance of their lawful duties, and also engage in genuine dialogue with host community leaders to address grievances and ensure peaceful existence. The House is also equally advised to mandate the Committee on Nigerian Content and Monitoring to invite the chief executives of the 8 concerned oil companies, the chief executive of Nigerian Content Development Monitoring Board, the executive secretary of Nigerian Petroleum Regulatory Commission, and the chairman of Imo State Internal Revenue Service for questioning. Also mandate the committees on Nigerian Content and Monitoring, corporate social responsibility, petroleum resources upstream, petroleum resources downstream, finance and justice, to investigate the specific allegations of violations of the Act 2010 and PIA 2021 and Taxes and Levies Act by all oil and gas companies operating in Imo State, and the status of implementation of the host development trust in Imo State, and report within 4 weeks, legislative weeks. That, Honorable Speaker, I so move.